Hi, hi, hi. How's everyone doing today? June the 12th already. Um, I'm Lewis Mabee, psychic medium, healer, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We have all the way from down under. We have Angela so far. How are you, Angela? Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. We have Janet from LA. Hello, Janet. We have Marianne. I think you're from upstate New York, I think, or close to that. Welcome, Marianne. Thank you. And Trish is saying hello. Happy Wednesday to you too. Um, it it's it's Lewis, everyone. Yeah, please. So um, I'm doing a little bit of different today format. Karen's welcome is joined the party. Hello, Karen. Good to see you. Looking good as well. Bonnie's here. Hello, Bonnie. You didn't miss me. That is awesome. Diana from DC. I thought so. um, and there's also Tammy sneaking in there. Hello, Tammy. How are you? Good to see everyone. Uh, so I have a little bit of a story to tell. Oh, that's right, Angela. It's Thursday because they're 12 hours ahead of us, maybe 14, depending on where you live on in New Zealand. Um, so I have a little bit of so I always am trying to evolve, and I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to fit to see what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And you know, like a lot of other people, um, I also get anxiety. Um, and one of my things that triggers the anxiety is doing these lives. And it's it's not because I don't like doing them. I actually really do love doing them, but it's the I guess the buildup, and it's like, well, why would anyone want to see me? Like, what, why? So I get into my head and I, ruminate a little bit, and I have to keep talking myself down. Um, and it's just one of those things where once I get here and get on, it's great. But I'm trying to think of like ideas or what would they like to learn or talk about. And then I start writing up stuff and I want to present it to you. And I just don't feel connected to what's written because I love, 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 love going off the cuff. I just love, like that quick fire question and answer kind of thing, because like if anyone's had a reading with me, I'm quick. When it's downloading, and I just am ready to pump stuff out. But when I need to plan, I just personally, and it may not come across to you, which is fine, but for me, it just comes across as I'm trying to like stretch it. And so I want to make these lives as authentic for me to feel good and as authentic for everyone that I'm blessed with. Oh, I'm having a second. That I'm blessed for you guys to tune in. So I do appreciate you tuning in. Um, and as always, if you have topics that you want for me to discuss, put them in the comments. And Diana says, and this is right, it's free flow, baby. Absolutely, Diana. I I just I like to be able to pivot. I love to be able to go off on something because it's like, oh yeah, that's happened. So anyway, I so yeah, if you have any comments, non-reading comments for now, please. But if you have any like things you want me to discuss or answer about without it being a non-reading yet, then just fire away in the comment section. I'd love to hear you and what your and where your mind's at. So I want to tell you a little bit about my week as well, and or actually my last couple of weeks. um, so I've not been liking my website for a while, only for the simple fact that it's very dated. And the reason why I hadn't changed it earlier is because of my fear of technology. I Everyone knows me. I hate technology. I know I have to make love to it, but it's not intuitive for me. Hello, Tammy from Facebook. Good evening. How are you? Um, and Judy says hello. Um, so uh, my web guy who I've been with forever and a day finally convinced me to update this my website. But unfortunately he's very ill right now, and he doesn't have the energy or the strength to put all the cushion and the buttons and all that sort of thing together. And I do know enough because I do edit a lot of my, or at least my old website. I did a lot of the own editing. But anyway, so I did a big boo boo. So I downloaded the template. Perfect, fine. I integrated it into the WordPress because WordPress is what I use for my theme. And there's my Aunt Donna saying hello. Hello, Donna. How's your tan? Um, and so anyway, and then what I thought I was doing was going into demo mode once I put the template in place, went live. and and it merged my old website with the new formatting, and it did not make sense. The buttons weren't there. You couldn't navigate anywhere on the website unless you were looking in obscure places. And I just went OMFG. um and hello, Carla. I'm glad that you're tuning in. Oh, and Mary Ann says, like, the haircut. I didn't get a haircut. I washed it today though. so so it merged, and this merge caused me the greatest stress, the greatest, like, it's like, oh my god, not again. Because if you've remember back in January, February, and March, I had constant interruptions with my online website, because of the booking platform and all that sort of thing. And I had to buy all of these extras just to get it to work. I mean, I spent hundreds, if not even close to $1,000 on just getting the website to work, or sorry, the booking agent that you see on the website today work. So anyway, if you do go to my website and you notice that things are changing, but they just don't look good right now, I'll work on it. But I finally got it so that people can book their appointments. That works great now. It should, after all that money. And so anyway, I'm breathing again, and yeah, but please be patient. I will be working on it over the next weeks, so that I can make it look spectacular, because once it is done, it's going to be amazing looking. And it has a lot of bells and whistles that my old website platform just couldn't do anymore. So this is going to be more of an interactive. So hang in there with me, and I need to hang in there too. So yeah. So Diana says the computer gremlins. Well, you know what? They drank the gremlin juice far too much in the last 2 weeks. So yes. Um, anyway, so that's been my week, and today it's like, even though I knew I was doing this today, and I like yesterday, I was like, and I didn't have anything planned. Like the week before, I had plans, and so I couldn't do the live. But even yesterday, when I'm like, just schedule the damn thing, and so I did. And then all day, I didn't even have anxiety about, oh my god, it's almost 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna have to get on there. So it's like, ugh. But I didn't have any of that because I didn't have a plan. And so I'm totally going off just on whatever comes out of my mouth, whatever comes into my head. And I still hope you're going to like it. Lisa's excited to see the new website. Me too. Me too. So anyway, uh, does anyone have any birthdays in the month of June, or is there any celebrations that I can shout out to for you? Because, I'm really about creating a community and I really want to celebrate you. Oftentimes someone books a reading and they say, oh, today's my birthday, or this week's my birthday, or this week's my anniversary, or whatever, or even today is the day that my so and so passed away, and I wanted to honor them, so I booked the reading for today. So it's Diana. See, there you go. This is why I go off the cuff, because, oops, where am I? My deceased daddy was 6'10". So, happy heavenly birthday. If you hear meowing, it's Cleo, because of course I'm not paying attention to her. And Angela's celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, Angela. So honored that you tune in, even though it's tomorrow and you're in the beautiful New Zealand, which has the most beautiful wines. I love New Zealand wines. Love, love, love. Um, I am going to be doing that. Embrace the gremlins and dance in the light. You're 100%, Diana. 100%. Marianne niece, Katie, her birthday's on June 29th. That's awesome. Speaking of like month, so I started something new on my Facebook page, and I don't know if everyone's noticed it yet. I think they have, or you have. But what do you think about those daily posts about focus on a lesson for the day? Uh, Drop a comment if you like reading them, or if you like me to continue doing that, because I, uh, I thought that in this turmoiled world and this constant regurgitation of news that is heavy and not quite uplifting all the time, that I would try to flip it so that people would have something to be able to focus on throughout their day, to remind them that not only do they matter, but when we start vibrating on that lesson together, the consciousness gets brought up, and we raise our vibrations when we think about the same positive word or the same thought pattern. So I thought that I would just kind of like do this and help some people with, I've had many people that message me and say, I really needed this today. And so I'm very grateful that you guys do reach out and give me feedback, because obviously I want to post what everyone wants to, or at least close to everyone wants to see. And I'm being very diligent, if you've noticed, about posting daily. So that's something else that I was used to grapple with, is like, no one wants to read my post, or I might get one like or whatever. And I had to get rid of that mindset. I just needed to put it out there. And then as I put it out there, it's going to grow, because that's my intention, is to grow our community. And Judy, my granddaughter's graduating high school on June 27th, and any insight into her future? Dear Judy, hang on to those questions. We'll get to that later. And anyway, so let me know if you have anything that you would like me to focus on with the posts on Facebook, because they also go into Instagram as well. So, and if you want to follow me, if you're not following me yet on Instagram, TikTok, and X, it's under Lewis Mabee. And then Facebook, it's Lewis Mabee Spiritual. And they're all open, so you can find me. They're not private. So thank you for that. What else did I have? Oh, so the post that I did yesterday about please like and comment, even if it's a short little yes or whatever. I got a lot of people commenting, and I love that on that post. But it's really about every post that I do, because the what I'm learning, and again, I'm not techie, but I am trying to um, I'm trying to, process and learn. So what I've learned is that the algorithm loves it when there's engagement on post. And as soon as the algorithm picks up that there's engagement on these posts, um, then it kind of sends it into Facebook world, and it starts landing in on other people that have similar interest. And so they would be like interested in clicking on the post, and then they can come into our community by liking and following our group. And if you haven't followed the Lewis Mabee Spiritual page on Facebook, please make sure that you follow. Because again, once they see the followings going up and the engagement going up, they're going to put it into other people's eyesights. If you, is anyone joining me with a drink while we're doing our live today? Let me know if you're doing any. Let me know if you're doing any drinking. This is a Greek frappe, and this is. I learned to make this while I was in Greece from one of my good friends, Leo, who lives in Greece. And Judy's doing a Diet Coke. Marianne's doing a Pepsi. Um, Lisa's having a glass of wine. Love. What kind of wine? Red, white, Malbec, Sauvignon Blanc. Karen F is doing a Diet Dr Pepper. That is amazing. So about to make a Starbucks run, finishing work. What's your favorite Starbucks? What's your go-to Starbucks? I like Starbucks. So anyway, um, oh, Janet's having a cup of green tea with honey. Good for you, Janet. Detoxifying. It helps with lymphatic drainage. And the honey helps to boost your immune system, especially if you have allergies. Um, oh, Donna of wine, of course. Good for you, Donna. Tequila and kombucha. Tammy, tell me more. Tequila and kombucha. The tequila won't kill the kombucha? That is so interesting. Lisa always says always red. You make your own. Lisa, what's your background? I used to when I was in university, I I made a friend in university, and her father was like true Italian. And so one day I was over there, I think 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, because Tanya and I were going to be doing something that day. Anyway, 9 o'clock in the morning. And what does he do? He shoves a glass of homemade red wine underneath me and says, drink. I'm like, whoa, what? and I think it was like 1920, and I really was not a drinker at all. And actually, I've never really been, a few times, but I'm not a regular drinker. Um, anyway, so I'm sipping this wine. I'm going, okay, this is homemade, and I'm not sure if I like this homemade wine because it's really, really heavy. And for when I really didn't have wine before, it just, but I drank it anyway, and boy, was I spinning. Holy moly. So, um, Tara, Tara says, I have really enjoyed the daily. Oh, thank you. And you're doing amazing keeping up with this routine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Plain vanilla venti latte, no sugar, and a live hibiscus tea. I just made hibiscus tea downstairs. It's steeping right now because I'm going to make it into a cold brew. It's yummy. It's a small amount of tequila. Okay, because I'm going, if you did an ounce, that would probably kill the kombucha. Anyway, so if anyone wants the recipe, just comment me and I'll send you the recipe later on after we're done. And homemade wine is not for everyone. I have grown to like it though. So now, because I did in my late 20s, maybe early 30s, I started to drink red wine, and I do truly like it, and that's why I like New Zealand wines, the reds, because they're really, really good. Um, yes, I love the White Oyster Bay. I love the Australian and the New Zealand Malbecs and the Sauvignon Blancs and that sort of thing. Janice, both my parents were Italian. My grandfather always made his own wine. Oh, I know. You know what? we don't do that much anymore. I mean, the people that are from the old generation or the old school still do, but even when you go to like a vintner's, if they're even still in business, but if you go to like a home, like a making your own wine kit, it's just not the same because it's all packaged, and so it's just, yeah. Um, but anyway, add rum or tequila uh, to hibiscus with simple syrup, daiquiri or margarita, ramarindo, good too. Oh, interesting. I do like tequila, so um, cool. So yeah, if you can comment on all the posts, just like even just one of those thumbs up comments, that is perfect. And just like, and then someone said that they're having problems with something to do with sharing. And I looked in the Facebook page is visible to everyone. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or if someone just didn't or missed a step or something. So I'll look into that a little bit more. So um, Diana, I got a winemaking from Davis Co. She's part of my life interrupted. I think she's driving. She's drinking tequila. My brother used to make blueberry wine in Newfoundland long after he left. My mom used to hear things go pop in the basement. Oh, yeah, 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 with the wine bottles popping sometimes because of the, yeah, exactly. So, um, oh, tamarindo. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. So anyway, um, let's see, what else do I want to talk about today? Celebrate. I want to celebrate. I want to talk about what I was drinking. Oh yeah. So, and I don't when I request these kinds of things, I don't expect it, but I will request it only simply because I have a plan to do something more with this request. Um, so, and again, I do not feel obligated whatsoever to indulge me with this request. But if you've had a reading with me or if you had an experience with me, please email me a testimonial. One of the features that will be in the new website is a really cool testimonial thing. And if you want to videotape your testimonial, even better. This is going to be truly magnificent of what my new website is going to be able to be capable of doing. So please, by all means, like because with the way technology is going, people are just videoing. Like, I think writing might even become a lost cause in a century or two, just because everything is done through video. And so I'm again embracing the gremlins of technology. And yeah, so if you have a testimonial, um, then please, by all means, videotape it or write it out and send it to me. Do I have info@lewismabee.com? I don't have that. I will add that now. Um, so there. Yes. Cool. Tara, tell us about your summer plans. I'm getting the sense there is something exciting happening. There is something exciting happening for me. In fact, I just booked it last week. I am going back down to Los Angeles for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, to spend time with the lovely Janet DeBella, my sister from another Mr. Mother, and my friends as well. I mean, of course, Janet's my friend, but I do have a lot of friends that are in LA, and so I've decided that I wanted to go back down there because, and I'll still be working some of the time during, so you can still book a Zoom appointment during some of the time I'm away. So don't worry about it, or don't worry that you're gonna have to book in before or after. I will have schedules available during the time I'm away, and I'm also going to be doing some fun stuff while I'm in LA. I will also be doing some training on technology. So my dear friend Michael is going to be showing me more so about the Facebook algorithms, how it works, what to look for, how to boost this, how to do that, and all that sort of thing. So it's going to be very it's going to be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it because there's a few places in the world that I consider to be a second home, and Los Angeles is definitely one of them because I'm not in downtown Los Angeles. I'm in the burbs. There's still trees and grass and and still the sunshine, but it's not the concrete jungle that many people think about when they think of Los Angeles or Hollywood. So yeah, I still, and then there's that beautiful water fountain. If anyone's ever seen the video I've taken of the big, huge water fountain in the DeBella backyard, it is like the most meditative, mesmerizing sound that there is. And whenever possible, the windows get open, the water fountain goes on, and I just zen the F out. And it's so brilliant. So I love that. Um, and then other than that, for the summer, that's probably about it. I have a couple of reunions, family reunions, and that sort of thing. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then I think in the fall, I'm trying to convince a friend of mine to do a cruise because I've never been on a cruise and I've always wanted to do a cruise. And I think that this is the right time to do a cruise. So I'm excited about that. What about you? What's on your summer plan for holidays or whatever? I know Terry. I'm reading your name as Terrell, but I always call you Tara. I know Tara has a campsite that she goes to, and she has a parked trailer, I believe, that she and her partner and her daughter enjoy as often as they can. And I love seeing the pictures whenever you post them with Dan and Dan's funny faces that he makes from time to time. So it's that's really cool. There's something, Tammy. I'm interested in New Earth, sun changes in Northern Lights. So, was it last month about the Northern Lights? Yeah, last month um, we could see in Canada, especially, well, we could see maybe I think one day of the 3 days in Woodstock, but the further north you went, the more vibrant the Northern Lights were, and and I'm going to kind of like combine all of that, Tammy, because there is a significant shift that's happening, and it's nothing like we've had in the last 100 to almost 200 years of this kind of shift. You know, um, kind of think of like that age of Aquarius or the dawn of Aquarius. Think of that on steroids, because there is going to be all of this guck that's been kind of like running the show, and politics, countries in crisis, wars, natural disasters, all that sort of thing. So these are all percolating, and they're starting to come up where the truth is going to be known, and it's going to be exposed. Look what just happened like last week to Cheeto Man. It's like, serves you right, and that's just the tip of the iceberg with that person. um but anyway, so when we're entering 2025, and it's not like January 1, it's just when we're entering 2025, it's gonna be like, when if you go to a very huge tourist site like the Eiffel Tower or Buckingham Palace, that there's those steel guard posts that come up and down so that they can let in officials but block out regular traffic. So in 2025, there's gonna be these like instant like steel garter poles that just pop up in front of someone's segue of getting somewhere. And this is not for good people. This is for the people that are not honest about how they're running things. And I so like politicians and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of truth coming out because they're going to hit a proverbial uh, steel wall, so to speak. Like it's not even a speed bump; it's like a complete like this. And so what's happening is that think of the lawn after a heavy snow, and it's now spring, and the grass is all off color, dead, that sort of thing. You have to rake. Well, you should rake your yard so that it stimulates the new growth. That's what's happening in 2025. That's a signal from the universe with the northern lights and the new moons that are popping up like every month, but there's more super new moons all of a sudden. Like everything is starting to align behind the scenes, and we're not necessarily needing to be aware of. But man, oh man, you're witnessing it this now in your 2024 year, that a lot of truth is coming out. Wait until 2025. It's gonna turn people in their head, on top of their heads, and it's gonna be, and it's not gonna just end in 2025. It's gonna be for the next 3 to 4 years. So 25, 26, and 27, maybe even 28 a little bit. But the 28 is gonna be more so about getting the vacuum and starting to vacuum up the crap that's been left all over the place. So that's what's happening with a lot of these moons, a lot of in the eclipse, and then the solar stuff that's going to be happening, and the solar eclipse and the northern lights and the new moons and the sun phases and the doubles and all that sort of thing. Even when you look at the Mercury in retrograde and this year and what it's standing for, you're noticing a pattern that there's truth woven into the Mercury in retrogrades. So it's actually kind of like an exciting time, but people that are sensitive and don't necessarily understand or know how to ground themselves are going to feel really off. And so I really do suggest anyone with any type of sensitivity to invest time and energy into learning how to ground yourself properly. Grounding is personal, just like someone like blue and someone like green. It's a personal way of how to ground. Just do a couple of things, don't be afraid to try something. If it doesn't work, then go to the next one. But please find your way on how to ground. Oh crap, my thing's not scrolling. 1 second. Okay, shoo, phew. I just noticed that all of a sudden I wasn't seeing any comments, but again, my scroller was broken for a second. So Diane is saying, justice is coming. Stop. Time to help the dishonest little people. Glad to hear about the speed bumps. Yes, for sure. Janet is saying, I definitely need to learn how to ground. Yes, and we can work on that when I'm there with you. Not a good time to dwell on the life path too deep. And you know what? That's kind of like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, and I understand what you're saying about that. Obviously, you need to focus on your life path. Like you have to focus on you. You have to focus on being connected to your tribe, connected to your community, whatever your community is. But at the same time, and this is why I'm also putting out those daily lessons, is collectively, even though we're doing it singularly, that left path. Oh, sorry. I'll talk about this anyway. So even though singularly you might be focusing on like purpose, but maybe in time 3,000 other people are focusing on their purpose, and because of that, it's raising the vibration. It's helping that stuff to percolate so that there's more honesty, more transparency in the world, and we have no trust or faith anymore in humanity. Many of us don't. I try to, but it's struggling. Like, and that's why I don't really watch the news. And so I so not only is this daily reminder that I post for you, it's also for me because I do it. I every day I do whatever um, um, I tap into with the energy that is brought to you by the numerological date of the month. So, but if everyone kind of focus 5 minutes on that lesson, it's going to definitely help with this beautiful cause of truth and learning how to trust each other again. Um, and Diana says, but still, good point. Good point about together. No worries. Stay together. We raise the vibrations, as you just said. Exactly, Diana. I'm opening this up now to anything. You got a question for me, psychic or non-psychic? Go for it. I am here for you. Um, and if you want to book a reading with me, you can go to my website, lewismabee.com, lewismabee.com, and then book in book an appointment under that heading. You will be taken to the my online concierge that I paid way too much for, but it works, so that's all that matters. And you can see I have healing sessions. I'm also working something on that for people for a special, and then I also obviously do readings and psychic medium readings. So sometimes I get questions about, well, what's the difference in like between the works or the in-depth? The only difference is the amount of time that I get to spend with you, and obviously the more time I spend with you, the greater detail that I can go into things and as well cover even more areas. And always I a lot of I don't separate a medium session and a psychic session. They come together because I I feel like for me, where I stand as far as a business person goes, it's kind of like those box malls, that one stop shop kind of thing. I want you to be able to enjoy a full gamut of what I can offer you as the psychic medium. So that's the only difference is time, the amount of time that you spend with me, and obviously the price. But so, and I also do past life regression. I had someone email me the other day about a past life regression, and they were kind of drawn to it, so they booked the appointment, and they just had some questions about the kind of past life regressions I do, and so I went over the format that I use, and they're like, "Oh, I can't wait." And so, if anyone is able to come to me to do a past life regression in person, no, you will not be hypnotized. No, you will not quack like a duck, but you will walk away with a lot of aha moments for your current life through the past lives. And we can usually generally get to 3 lives in your past lives. So it's really, really cool. So I noticed that there's some things going on. Judy, my granddaughter is graduating high school June 27th. Any insight into her future? So your granddaughter, congratulations. But it seems to me, this isn't a bad but. It seems to me though, she needs to get a focus. I feel like there's this sense of not wanting to disappoint. I'm not sure if it's disappoint herself or disappoint others, but there's this sense of disappointment that she doesn't want to do. And I really encourage her to be carefree. I do encourage her to search out higher education. She might do a flippy flop with what her focus will be, either before or during. But I do feel, actually, there's something around her about writing. Now, I'm not sure if that's a career thing for her, but I feel like writing will help her stabilize, calm, and all that sort of thing. So I would encourage her to like journal, day journal. Doesn't need to be about anything other than like the sky is blue. kind of thing. It's not a dear diary journal where, this boy kissed me kind of thing, but just write in general, and whatever the writing is going, like whatever she's in, wanting to write about. But I feel like there's this thing with her right now that will continue a little bit like this. But actually, I'm not even like worried about that, because I think that's more like a rite of passage for her anyway, so that she can kind of like learn to eliminate some things that's been maybe on her mind, or maybe that's been pushed in front of her to look at. But so I feel like I want to give her time and I want to give her space, but I also want her to weeble wobble a little bit, so that because she's a feely person, like she learns better when she goes something physically through something, as opposed to, not saying that she doesn't have common sense, but like someone saying, well, have you thought about this or this? And she's kind of like, I don't really understand. Like I get a little bit of that, but I'm not quite sure. But when she goes through something, it's kind of like the University of Life taking over. So I do encourage her to like take her time, do a little bit of weeble wobble, and then she'll be a much more happier camper. So yeah. Tammy, I had heard a pigeon and now two sparrows, one devised in my yard, wondering the meaning. Pigeons and sparrows, birds. The pigeon, I don't feel there's anything really connected about the pigeon. I think the pigeon just basically kind of got in your way. Like I don't feel like there's a lesson or a life lesson to learn from the pigeon. The sparrows, um, sparrows. Hang on a second. Sparrows typically, like from just what I can gather, that sparrows are typically known for like giving meaning. It's a way for peace and gratitude. Um, um, Now, hurting them, I'm not kind of focused on the hurting piece, Tammy. Um, I I feel like the sparrows are there to tell you that there's better times coming, even though they didn't have a better time. But I feel like it's more of the meaning of why they're being present around you, because sparrows are darters. Like they if they're under attack, they will like swarm and dart you, and they're nasty. Um, but um, they typically will hold their ground, their space, especially when there's babies. Um, and they love the barns and that sort of thing. But it is a luck thing with sparrows as well. So I'm not picking up on any negative energy or heavy energy around the demise of the sparrows, but it does feel though that there's opportunity coming towards you. There's luck. I don't believe in luck, but I'll use the word luck coming. So good fortune coming towards you, or better fortune coming towards you, and just a lighter time for you, Tammy. So please don't read into the hurt of it. Focus more so on shaking off that energy and opening yourself up to receive the goodness that's coming towards you. So, yeah. Mary, my dog Bob passed away 10 years ago. Any messages from him? Bob. Did Bob like to did Bob like to like lean? I don't know if while he was walking, or just like really leaned into you. Um, but there's something like he's like wanting to lean up against you, and the tail's wagging, and just happy camper. And so I don't did you have to also put him down? because there's something going on with, like, he's like, I don't, there's no guilt, like, I'm totally fine, I'm happy, I there's no blame. Yeah, there's, yeah, so he's a happy camper, and he's just hanging out, and he's wagging that tail. So, yeah. Bonnie, I had I've had a rough month or so with my health. Do you see me getting better, or is there something more going on? Thank you in advance. Um, Bonnie, you have to throw the kitchen sink at yourself. I feel that just one form of care, for example, physician care, is not enough for you. I feel like there's a massive lifestyle change that you need to accept and embrace. And if you are able to have the resources to see a naturopath or something like that, I feel like the combination of East and Western philosophy with medicine is gonna really help. But I also feel like you have to start giving yourself the task of also improving your health. Um, like going, like making sure that you're active, and I don't mean that you're not active, but it's like, if your work or if your job is to walk around all day, you're used to that. Like, that's not active. That's you doing routine. So you have to bump it up and maybe do like a half an hour quick brisk walk kind of thing to really embrace the benefits of um, making that kind of effort. And I feel like you have to clean out your system. I feel like there needs to be a huge purge, a huge detox. I even would suggest, I'm not quite sure if I want to use the word allergies, but I feel like there has to be some testing with your diet, and really clearing out. And that's why I'm suggesting a naturopath, or someone in the Eastern philosophies of medicine, to help you detoxify your body, because your body is full of crap. And I'm not saying it's your fault. I think it's just years and years and years of stress and all that kind of thing. And it's just catching up to you. And so I feel like that by taking matters into your own hands, getting a huge mindset reset about what am I going to do today to better my health, and then follow through with that. So it could get worse if you decide not to do anything about it yourself, but this is really truly a opportunity for you to really dive in and make significant changes to your overall health and your health needs. So I hope that helps. um, Bailey, do you have any insight into my career? Do you see a new job in my horizon, or am I to focus solely on my own business? B, um, if anything, so okay, I get it. We all need money. Everything's expensive and that sort of thing. And so I really do like the entrepreneurial spirit within you, Bailey, but you're not connected to it fully. You're not connected to it with passion. And I want you to go and find that passion. And then I don't care if you have to work at Starbucks just for supplemental income until you know that you can fully facilitate your means of living a lifestyle through your own business. But please find that passion. Don't be like me about the anxiety about doing these lives. Like, just embrace this opportunity for growth, and you're going to smash out of the park when you make that connection, because it will inspire you to go, that works for me. And then when you find out what's working for you, you'll just multiply it several times. So um, Amy says, love my past life regression with you. Yes, yes. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Barb, I have been writing my book for over 4 years. It keeps on going. Will it ever end? Uh, Barb, your book already has an end, but it has a second book. And so if you're working with an editor, I would really suggest, or if you don't, get an editor, because I feel like that someone is going to be able to see that this book, this compilation of your of what you wrote in your story for the book, and they're gonna be like, okay, that should be over here, like that should be in the next book, like, and then reorganize everything, and you're gonna find that I actually get the sense there's two books. But will this ever end? No, because you'll just keep on writing, and which you should. So please do not think that this is like, why won't it end? Because it's not supposed to. Make love to, it's not supposed to. And then when you take that pressure off of you to like look for that ending, because it's not in sight and it won't be in sight, because you're meant to do this. You're meant to share your story and tell your story. And so if you see me keep looking down, it's because Cleo's right there and she's like purring like a diesel truck. Um, so anyway, please keep writing, but please get an editor because that they're gonna really, really help you. Diana, I finally have to do something in LA about Mr. Greedy in Santa Barbara. He stole our vineyard home from me, and we used to have it in our names. I'm hoping an old friend from the DOG will team up with me. It's a slow burn. There is justice. It's just a very slow burn. And so it's kind of like stop and go in, but the stops have pauses. And so just you have to be in it for the long haul. And there will be many more other people getting involved that you're not even aware of yet because you don't need to be. But this to me kind of like it becomes a village that helps move things forward. So yeah. Tara, any messages for my daughter Summer? Summer is meant to lead, but not lead in the sense of like a CEO. Summer has this really cool connection with relatability, and she can relate to a 10-year professor, and she can relate to a 6-year-old, and she can navigate conversations and energies uh, attuned to those and those different energies. And so you're going to find that as Summer goes into her adulthood, that she's kind of like not the Pied Piper that takes snakes out of Ireland, but the Pied Piper in the sense of she has this following, she has these, and she's not like one of those, cult religion things, but she has these people that really look towards her for guidance. But please make sure that she understands that not everyone should have her guidance because it's depleting her energy and she needs to make sure that she's always constantly in balance. But man, oh man, is she going to be a force to be reckoned with when she hits her stride. So I really, really am looking forward to the next couple of years for Summer. Tammy, I appreciate that. I did look at the spiritual meaning. I'm focused on the little one here. Bought a house. Oh, you're sweet, Tammy. Yeah, yeah. But again, they're mean. So hopefully that this one's gonna be nice to you. Um, um, well, get used to it, Diana. You're gonna have, like I said, it's gonna actually, I think it's actually gonna be taken out of your hands because it just becomes much more like it's I know you're in the States, but I'm going to use Canadian terminology here, but it's kind of like it's getting taken away from that standpoint of like suing or just like I'm coming after you. It almost becomes a federal offense, and so there's more eyes and more legalities or more legal people that will get involved, and it kind of gets taken out of your hands because this is fraud. And so this is something that's going to, again, grow and grow and grow. Um, yeah, so hang in there. Um, Christina, do you see me passing my final exam? Yes, but breathe, please. This is like giving, oh, I get it. It's giving you anxiety, but please, please, please breathe and have fun with it. You know your shit. So just write it. Just do it. You know it. It's almost like you're over prepared and that's freaking you out. Relax. Tammy. Hi, Lewis. I have a plantar fasciitis now for over a year, and both heels will ever go away. Not without surgery. I don't even know if you have surgery on those. Um, you're gonna have to really invest in like really good shoes, implants, inserts. Um, um, really, really good care of your feet. Like, um, and as well, and grounding. Like you're really needing to focus on being grounded. This is the um, I learned this a few years ago. When young kids 2 and 3, um, and you give them something to ruminate about or think about, and in order for them to process, they will like kind of ground deep down into their feet, and they'll start to like put pressure on the opposite foot and sway like this because they're grounding, because they're trying to figure out the answer. And I feel like you need to do more of that, Tammy. Um, your life seems to be here a lot. I don't think it's your doing. I just think it's just what it is. And so I really need you to put blinders on and start focusing on you and making you grounded. Yeah. So good luck. It's painful. I will see the man I know and like this month. Initial is J. Will there be a romance, please? I will see the man I know and like this month. Initial is J. I'm not sure about that, Anne. There seems to be a big hole, like a hole that is nothingness around this J man, or around the question. Like I, it's almost like it's not real. So I don't know if you've met J man yet, or if you have, and if you have, if I don't think it's a romance. I think there might be inclinings of a little bit of romance, but I feel like it just doesn't go anywhere. And if it does go anywhere, it's because one of you or both of you are forcing it to go somewhere. It doesn't seem organic to grow with this. But I'll tell you this: you have to step away from wanting to be in a relationship because you can't, you're so close to the trees, to the forest, because you can't see the trees. So I really need you to take a step back, focus more on you and less about a relationship, and get out of your head, get into your heart and let it come. Because I feel like right now the energy from what you wrote is you're trying to shove a square peg into a round hole. It's just not gonna fit. And so I really want you to take the pressure lid off so that it can breathe, so that you can breathe, and let focus less on finding Jay, or pushing Jay into this romance. And I feel like more so by the end of the year, there's a more genuine connection coming to you in friendship first, and then it spills over into relationship down the road. So, yes. Bonnie, definitely have allergies and asthma. Yeah, okay. Sounds exactly like me. I will fight the fight. Thank you. It will be very hard, but I will get back on it. Thank you. You deserve it. You so deserve it. Um, Thanks, Lewis. You are so right. The book split last November, but kept on writing. I do have two books and a few stories from the first book. I'll have jumped into the one I'm working on. I keep seeing 888, and I believe it will end up August 26, 2024, all that up to 888. Yeah, that would make sense. So just, yeah, like keep writing. And it's almost like have someone else organize it for you, that's kind of thing. So, yeah, yeah. Terry. Again, I keep knowing Tara and Terrell, and I just Terry. Thank you, my friend. I feel this to my core. Good. Thank you. Um, Tammy says, yes, the little one is sweet. He even came and sat with me this morning about 2 feet from. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Angela, message from dad. Okay, so what is this thing about? Um, uh, he's giving me kind of like a hunting or a shotgun, but he's laughing about this. He's being cheeky. He's definitely being cute, but what is this thing around some rifle or shotgun, or like he's not armed or anything else like that, but he's like he has this big grin on his face and holding this like long gun kind of thing. And it's almost like he's he's trying to um, he's trying to evoke something within you about the past with him, because he just loves and adores you. So yeah, yeah. Let me know about the gun thing if that resonates with you yet. Um, Tammy says, thanks, Lewis. Surgery is not something I want. I know, right? I have good shoes, insoles, etc. Doing laser right now, hoping that does the trick for me. I think it's going to definitely help, but I feel like even if it's not right now, you're going to have to bite the bullet, because I feel like there is a little bit of release and a little bit of less pressure, but it's kind of like then it builds up again. And so it's like, when is when, and when do I quit suffering? So again, it's kind of like I think eventually it's going to have to go to. But hey, if the laser will work, and or at least help you extend, then by all means. But again, I feel like that surgery will be painful, and but it will be well worth it, so that you are eventually pain free. So do I do still group reads? Yes, I do. So, yep. It depends on the territory. I'm not driving as far as what I used to. And so there's a couple ways to do this. 6 to 8 people, half an hour each. It's a private reading. Or 4 people, min max, for an hour each reading. And then the price depends on how far I have to drive. But yep, I still do. In fact, I'm doing one next week. So, and I think that's what he's actually trying to do, Angela, is he's just being comical. Like he just, again, he has a stupid, goofy grin on his face, and he's just like yeehaw, and he's like just humorous. So I think that's exactly what he's trying to portray to you, is that he's still goofy, and that he hasn't lost that comical side to him, and he's just. But when I ask him to focus on you, he's not saying anything specific, but he's smiling. And when spirit smiles, it means that everything is where it's supposed to be at this time. It may not be perfect, but there's no watch out for or be careful of. And so right now it's all about enjoying life. So, yep, I will drive to Cambridge. It's not that far for me. So, thank you. Um, so, I hope everyone had fun tonight. Again, if you are so inclined to write a small testimonial, you can email it to me at info@lewismabee.com. If you want to book a session with me, it's lewismabee.com. And if you want to connect with me on social media, it's Instagram, TikTok, and X. It's Lewis Mabee. And then Facebook, it's Lewis Mabee Spiritual. I have been cloned several times on Instagram and twice on Facebook. Actually, don't have to worry about Facebook because this is my spiritual page and that's been cloned. But it's always just Lewis Mabee. There's no dashes, hyphens, nothing. It's just my name blocked. That's it. So anyway, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. I really, truly do appreciate it. And I had a blast because I had no script. and so I am looking forward to connecting with you again, hopefully next week. I don't think I have anything going on next week. And I truly, deeply appreciate you carving out this time and spending it with me. And until the next time, be well, be safe, and overall, be happy. Bye for now.